Hello everybody, this is KenZy back for the final game in this S3 series, game 3 out of 3, between Liquid TLO, the little one, our red ZerG player in the bottom left hand side of the map today, against his opponent, Vile Illusion. So, 1-1, of course it's been very close. Both games really have been fairly close to an extent. I mean, they haven't been back and forth the whole time, but it hasn't been one player leading from the start. Often, I think, it seems like both times we've had one player pulling ahead early on, then being beaten, so it's interesting. It's been interesting games, really cool build loaders, fast ultras versus late tanks and heavy marine medevac. Very macro intensive both times, so it's been pretty cool to watch. And this time we do see Illusion patrolling over here. Let's just, I don't know why, but well, that's just a little cute little thing. No purpose by that, just gonna scout at 9. Okay, so we now see the early scout coming out by Illusion, who just wants to be safe, probably wants to fast expand again on this map, I'd say, just because there is this easy to defend natural again with this choke point at the ramp. So I would not be surprised to see maybe command set up before barracks, but considering the supply depot is up here, not down here, maybe going to be barracks first, a little bit hard to tell, but it looks like passing 150 middles here, we do see the barracks going down, so yep, he's going to play it safe, but whoa, play it safe. It looks like there is going to be a proxy barracks, which is being immediately scouted, so very, very, very nice start by TLO to see this little attempt at some sort of cheese and just scout it out instantly. That is not going to make Illusion happy at all, and that, yeah, that's really, really bad for him. Okay, so it looks like Illusion is pulling more and more SCVs. Oh, he may be overcommitting here, sending out 2 more SCVs. May not be a good idea once the first barracks has already been scouted, and it looks like we will see this drone seeing 1 SCV going out, seeing the second SCV going out, and TLO knows exactly what is up. 2 barracks are on the way. One of them is actually at the main, so I'm not sure what this may be going to make a 3rd proxy barracks. Maybe this one's actually going to scout legitimately, but of course, TLO knows exactly what is happening, sending out 2 more drones to this barracks, and that is really, really bad news for Illusion, as, yeah, if anything, he should have expected this to happen, but it looks like he's going to be able to complete the barracks, I think, just by microing his SCVs a little bit, and yeah, this will definitely complete, so a few marines will come out. Wouldn't even be surprised to see it go to the high ground, just to, well, that wouldn't be surprising. What am I saying? Anyways, so we now see 2 racks will be played, but of course, TLO knows what's happening. He should be prepared. I wouldn't be surprised to see him crumble to this pressure. But of course, Marines are still going to enter the fields in the end of the day. Illusion does still have that thing, but no. A tech lab, a very quick tech lab. Interesting little play here, except TLO may scout it, but he doesn't scout it. If he scouted that, he would be so happy, because of course when you see a proxy barracks over here, when you know there's another barracks over in the main, you know, okay, True Exposure is on the way, but instead a Reaper is on the way, and it looks like TLO is now going to see the tech lab. Yeah, he sees the tech lab, he thinks, okay, it's not a standard 2 racks, I can be a little more relaxed, well, maybe not relaxed as there's still a barracks over here, but he knows that Illusion is doing something tricky, something sneaky, something a little bit more unusual than, say, a 2 racks build, and it is, yeah, just gotta be a fast Reaper. So we'll have to see what this Reaper can do. Queens, of course, are the best way of dealing with fast Reapers until you get roaches or something, maybe wing speed or something out. Of course, none of that will be on the way by the time this Reaper is in the base of TLO. And if well microed, a single Reaper can do an amazing amount of damage. The question is, will it hit spines, will it hit queens, what will happen, and we'll have to wait and see about that one. And we now see only 3 marines being applying pressure, and that is not going to get anywhere against a spine and 2 queens already on the low ground. The queen in the main, interestingly, has just basically deserted the main, and only 2 queens at the natural. No injects in the natural either. A little sloppy there. There's the inject by TLO. And yeah, 3 marines are going to maybe kill an overlord. That would be a nice little pickup early in the game. Going to supply block TLO, as a Reaper has been seen by these overlords and has not done anything yet. Okay, but TLO, not going to be too scared. He does have these 2 queens, does have this spine, and he does have creep connecting his 2 bases for his queens to be pretty comfortable. And yeah, the Reaper is not going to do anything, the Marines are not going to really do anything either, and at this stage, TLO is still comfortable despite that losing that 1 overlord. That's about all Illusion did, but Illusion not behind at all. The only thing for him is his expansion was a little bit later, but still finished before 7-minute mark. Is going to mean he's still going to be okay. He's still got a pretty decent build coming out, and it is nice to see him going for that fast factory, getting Hellions too. Very, very different to what we've seen so far from Illusion, and possibly I feel like it may be He's telling just maybe just there's no gas yet for Illusion. He can't get a support. I feel like he's probably going to go into medevacs this again, but I'll have to wait and see about that one again. Yeah, there's a support, so he isn't going to go straight into tanks. He's going to go medevacs before tanks yet again. Probably going to get a reactor, I'd assume, as well coming out here. And we're going to see the 3 Marines have returned to base quite safely as soon as they get back up the ramp. Okay, so we do now see it from the perspective of TLO. He does have a lair coming down at his natural. Something that Spinishua was the first player to do this. The lair at the natural. Look at the hell this is completed. It starts off at 1500 as a hatchery, goes up to 2000 as a lair. It makes it easier to defend your natural expansion when there is a lair or a hive there. It makes the tech easy to snipe to an extent, in that often tech drops to snipe your main as opposed to your natural buildings. A big attack could hit the lair, could take out the natural, but not the main. It's possible, that is the disadvantage, but it does make it easy to defend off those big attacks without losing your hatchery there. So it is an interesting thing to note coming out of Illusion. Coming out of TLO. Anyway, so we do now see Illusion taking out this extractor, which was stolen. I guess was stolen by TLO. Doesn't really achieve anything in this matchup. Only really helps against Protoss when you're stealing the gas guys in their main base at the start of the game, I feel like. But again, it's not a big deal. Okay, so we do now see a few Hellions not even moving out. I believe it's surprising that Illusion isn't trying to apply some sort of pressure with those units. And this Reaper has done nothing but scout so far, just getting 1 kill for its name. As we do now see a push coming out of Illusion. And that is interesting. I was wondering what the Hellions were doing not moving out. They were waiting for a medevac, and that is very, very cool to see. And meanwhile, the Marines and Marauders are going to be not seen, I think they're not seen. Whoops, on camera. Yep, the line of sight doesn't extend past these gas thingos, and it looks like the main was going to be wide open for TLO's army to roll straight into, perhaps. But I don't know what's going to happen here, because it looks like TLO and Illusion are applying pressure at opposite ends of the map at the same time. So I'll have to wait and see what does happen, as the backdoor is going down very, very quickly for TLO. And Illusion is probably feeling really, really happy about this attack, but meanwhile he has no idea that tons of roaches and banelings are on the way into his main, and he has nothing to deal with this at all, no tanks at all, and he is going to be very, very panicked about this, as SCVs are going to have to evacuate very, very quickly, pulling back his attack, not even going to try and apply any damn pressure here. This is going to be huge, huge losses for Illusion, losing tons and tons of workers already, 12 down already, TLO taking a huge early lead, going to snipe this tech lab 2, going to get straight into the main, and the worst start possible for Illusion in this game, as we are now seeing SCVs being evacuated here. It drops straight in front of the roaches for some reason, and we do now see going straight into the middle lane yet again, attaching more and more SCVs, up to 15 kills, up to 16, 18, 19, 21, so many workers going down. That is all that really matters at this stage, because if Illusion's economy is destroyed here, it will be hard to rebuild, because all we'll have is mules. You're going to have to go for some sort of all-in attack, and at this stage it's going to be hard for an all-in to work, as the 3 bases and roaches are already out for TLO. He does have roach speed now completed. Roach speed plus, basically all the damage that is being dealt is basically going to mean that TLO can attack and defend. The only thing that can beat him now is maybe really lots of Marauders or Siege tanks. But with a lack of Siege tanks, I think TLO has adapted his playstyle to basically say, okay, my opponent is getting tons and tons of early Marines and no tanks early on every single game, so I'll just go Roaches, because basically Roaches will obviously dominate the Marines, and with Hellions added too, Roaches also dominate Hellions, and now at that speed you can see they can't even be chased down. The only thing that would be great here would be some custom shells save for Illusion, but it's a bit too late for that sort of switch. What we really need is, say, tanks at the moment. And the tech labs are only just started now, so tanks will not be coming out in the field for another couple of minutes. So very, very nice start by TLO. Look at the harvester tab, 63 to 25, food 70 to 120. The army is even more, it's even larger for TLO. Go to the army tab, and it does show the army of TLO is also more valuable than the army of Illusions. So everything is going the way of TLO except for a couple of overlords. And really, with these upgrades, well, only 1 attack upgrade so far for Illusion, he cannot take on roaches at this stage, and is going to have to evacuate here. Cannot even commit to an attack because he does not have the power at the moment, and as a result, TLO is going to be able to apply more pressure while TLO is miles and miles ahead, and while Illusion is the one that needs to make something happen. So a really, really good situation for TLO to be in. It feels like he's going to win the game, but of course it is not his game yet, although it is there for the taking. The question is, can these roaches be killed? Can something happen? Can drop speed make up for it? I'll have to wait and see, as it looks like the sec will be defended, it will be repelled. Meanwhile though, TLO does have quite a few helps, up to 72 now. He's been joining up like crazy this game, compared to what, so 33 I think of TLO, as a couple of Bailings that could hit the Marines and do so much damage, but no, they're not going to hit, as a few Marines actually left up in that medevac also being unloaded, so not bad micro there by Illusion at all. Of course the problem for him is his economy is in tatters, so one more Rogers streaming out onto the field. We do now see, what, 15 Rogers versus 23 Marines. That's going to favour the Rogers. One tank there is all a couple of Bailings getting a couple of hits up there. You can see with these upgrades, sure, only one attack upgrade here. There is Combat Shield, there is Steam, which is really nice for Illusion, but at the same time, he can't out micro the Rogers really, especially with their Roger speed. So he is doing quite nicely, to be honest. There is now an Infestor, which is going to be great against the Marines, but his continued streaming of units is going to be all TLO needs this stage, I think, just because it's so small economy for Illusion. 41 harvests is still only 41, and yeah, going to be hard for him to actually keep up with army swaps by TLO. Unit Source tab does show TLO is behind. That is what TLO really wants. He basically wants to just pour on units and not care what his unit source looks like. Even bleeding out a few overloads just by accident, I'd assume. Maybe it makes the focus firing a little bit harder for TLO, or Illusion, sorry, not quite sure about that one. And we're going to see, yeah, the Rogers actually being sacrificed to save those overlords, interestingly enough. So, TLO, he is losing a bunch of units at every step of the way, but it's completely fine, because of course Illusion does not have much at all anyways. So we do now see one tank over here. Siege mode is done, so perhaps that'll help the defense of Illusion, but when you're trying to defend what? It'd be really great if he was defending a lead, but he's defending a 30 harvested deficit, so being cooped up in his base is not good for Illusion at all, and the tank is now pounding onto the Roaches, but fungal growth is allowing these Marines to basically be cleaned up, and look at the units tab. Only 7 Marines on the field, 1 Marine per medevac at this stage, which while it's nice for the Marines is actually horrible for Illusion, as of course, sure, his Marines will be a little stronger, but he can't even fill a single medevac to drop with, so that is a big, horrible situation for Illusion, and look at this, TLO knows what to do with the lead. He does not want to throw any games at all. He spread creep from his base to his opponents. He is taking a 4th and a 5th base simultaneously while he is ahead. This is the way to defend a lead. If anyone is wondering, you macro up like crazy. Spread creep because it basically makes the game a lot easier for you to take, and creep, once it reaches the Terran's base, it's going to be hard for the Terran to do anything without TLO noticing. These Vector Rooks are going to be killed off right now, and there is going to be a drop over here, but a Spine and a Queen, look at that energy, actually a really lazy injects there by TLO, 200 out of 200 energy, and there is enough to transfuse as the... It's so interesting, you can see, yeah, he can transfuse 4 times, that means his injects have been horrible, but at the same time it doesn't really matter, he has enough hatcheries for that to not be an issue, and yeah, he's going to be able to clean out here, so it's completely fine. That drop didn't do any damage at all, and Illusion is still so far behind. The one chance at winning Illusion does have, as he does have a chance, would be to basically do a huge all-in, all of his tanks, all of his Marines, all of his SCVs, and just move out. And I think he should be pulling out his SCVs because he is not. He's just going to try to move out with the few units that he does have. Look at the units side. We do see 32 Rogers, 3 Infestors, 22 Bailings, and here he is rolling in while the tanks are unsieged. Fungal preventing this tank from sieging up, and that is just so heavy losses for Illusion. His army is just being demolished, and TLO with his map control, with his creep spread, with his contain, it is working out just wonderful for him. The overlords have swatted the high ground. The tank on the high ground has been sniped. That is why the overlords were there. And we do now see, it looks like, Illusion trying to go all in with the CVs, but he has nothing really to defend except for a few Marines. Not enough at all. Even if he kills these Roaches, it won't matter, but so many Bailings now rolling in, it is just not going to matter at all, and that should be GG. And that should be TLO taking Illusion out of this game, and even denying a 3rd base with these overlords. So TLO doing just about everything right this game, just basically seeing the weakness in his opponent's build, which is a huge weakness, is when you go such heavy Marines, early Roaches kill you, and that is what TLO did this game, and that is why he's able to take out the series and get to round 5 of the winners bracket here at MLG Providence. That was pretty fun to cast. Those are 3 pretty exciting games overall, and I hope you enjoyed them. So of course, check out my channel if you enjoyed them. Commissar 1 spelled horribly, but I made a new little bottom right thing. It's very simple, very crappy, but it says my name, so it's all good. That's all that matters, and we do now see, yeah, TLO just progressing through in MLG Providence. Of course, the tournament's long over. You probably don't know exactly how the tournament went if you follow it at all or care, but oh well, why not cast it? Really good games, lots of people select to watch those old games, and I hope you did too. So thank you for watching.